Hello and welcome to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show, Week 7. I am your host, Jonathan Khamis. To my left is Dan Albano. To my right is Steve Fryer. We're here at Rancho Alamitos. They are going to play in a big-time Garden Grove League matchup against their rival, Garden Grove. We'll talk about that on the OCVarsity Gridiron Extra Show. You can catch that tomorrow. But for today, we will talk about our stars of Week 6. I'll start it off with Steve this time. Steve, who do you got?
JT Daniels, the freshman quarterback of Mater Dei. 463 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, ran for the game-clinching touchdown with 1:38 left. Amazing freshman.
Yeah, it seems like we pick JT Daniels every single week, but I'm going with Chad Olberding of Fountain Valley. Check out these stats: 253 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns, and a 51-20 win over Newport Harbor. Dan? Defense.
I have a undersized, tough defensive lineman out of San Clemente, Liam Buell, and he had 5 sacks in a, I think it was 42-6 victory for the Tritons against Capistrano Valley.
All right, those are our stars of Week 6. Now let's go to Week 7, and we have some fantastic games this week, fellas. Let's start it off with the Trinity League clash between two 6-0 teams. That is St. John Bosco and Mater Dei, 7 o'clock at the Santa Ana Bowl. Guys, I don't know if you've seen Bosco yet this year. I haven't. I've seen Mater Dei, and Mater Dei is rolling. The Monarchs are playing great. But the Braves are averaging 63.5 points per game. I don't think they're going to get 63 against Mater Dei, Steve, but what do the Monarchs have to do to get a win out of the very, very tough St. John Bosco Braves?
Well, they're going to have to play a perfect game, and that means getting turnovers, not losing turnovers, and scoring on turnovers too. I think Bosco's going to go 5-0 in the league. I really do. They look like they're almost untouchable. You know, it's how you play the day you play. Mater Dei, you know, has what it takes to win, but Bosco just looks like such a machine. I don't see anybody beating them in the Trinity League, as good as the Trinity League is.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Mater Dei's last victory against St. John Bosco, Dan, back in 2010. But the Bosco quarterback, Quentin Davis, had 4 touchdowns last week. They scored 55 consecutive points against Santa Margarita.
Yeah, I guess there's life after Josh Rosen after all for St. John Bosco. But we talk about all those points, which is ridiculous, and their defense has been holding teams down as well. And I think for the season they're allowing about 11 points in a game, and that's really the strength of their team is their defense. They have more returners on defense, but of course they also got Sean McGrew, Washington commit, lightning fast. So it's going to be a tall order.
South Coast League game, 6-1 Tesoro versus 7-0 Mission Viejo. The Diablos are number 2 in all of the OC land. The Titans' last win against Mission Viejo, guys, in 2008. That was a special year for Tesoro when they went to the CIF championship game, losing to Long Beach Poly. Tesoro beat El Toro 31-28 last week. The Titans were down 21-0 at the half, but something tells me if the Titans go 21-0 down to Mission Viejo, they might not come back.
I agree, and well said. I think that's a great point there too. Maybe Tesoro was looking ahead a little bit to this Mission Viejo game and looking past El Toro, which is a mistake. El Toro is really good this year. I think in terms of trying to figure out who's going to win this game, I got to go with the rankings. Mission Viejo's a couple notches ahead of Tesoro in the county top 10. But, Tesoro's really capable of winning this game, if Monster plays. I don't know what Monster situations with Devon Moss with a bad shoulder. He's got a bad wing. Carter Janikin is pretty good, but he's no Devon Monster, and Carter will be the first guy to say that. If Monster plays, really improves their chances. But Mission Viejo is really solid. That's a solid football team.
Yeah, Janishin had 2 touchdown passes last week in a win against El Toro, and talking about Mission Viejo, Dan, they beat Dana pretty good, 77-0. Yeah. The less said about that game, the better. But 573 total yards of offense. I spoke to you off camera. You actually think that Tesoro has a good shot up against the Diablos here at Mission Viejo.
I'm really high on Tesoro. If I had to vote for like a team of the year right now in Orange County, I would probably give it to Tesoro because they stepped up on such a great schedule, played all these, and they've won some dramatic games with this rally against El Toro. They battled Corona Del Mar and beat them. They battled and beat Upland. So my point is that Tesoro is very battle-tested. And and Mission is a battle-tested team. Some of their returners like Brock Johnson and guys like Carter Hartman, who were in the battles last year, but the Diablos have not been tested a big-time contest so far like Tesoro. They had that La Habra game where they taste a little bit of the fire, but Tesoro's tasted a lot more of the fire, and that's why you can't discount Tesoro, especially if this game is close at the end. That could be really concerning for Mission Viejo.
Okay, finally, guys, Freeway League game, and a game that will probably decide the winner of the league. We have Buena Park, which is 5-1 on a 4-game win streak, taking on La Habra. They are on a 3-game winning streak. They are both 5-1. This game is at La Habra Friday night. All right, Steve, last week, La Habra's Cortland Taylor had 4 rushing touchdowns in a 35-7 victory over Sonora. We've seen the Highlanders this season, Steve. They put up a good fight against Mission Viejo. Buena Park is usually their toughest matchup in league, and I think their last 2 meetings were only decided by a touchdown or two. Is this the year Buena Park finally beats the Highlanders?
I don't think so. Eric Berrier last week, 3 for 16, really a bad game for the quarterback. Yeah, something pretty negative. But Taylor, picked it up offensively. So that tells you a lot about La Habra. They can go get you in different ways. They can win in different ways, and their defense is really good. I think, Buena Park's got so much great speed on offense, guys, but I really think that La Habra's a really complete package, and I think they win this game.
Speaking of Buena Park, Jeremiah Hawkins had 3 touchdowns, rushing, receiving, and a kickoff return. He's a triple threat, guys. Yeah. 47-24 victory over Fullerton. The Highlanders haven't lost a league game, Dan, get this, since 2006. And I did the math here. I'm not very good at it, but that's 41 games since 2006. You're still carrying the one in that head of yours, Steve? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. All right, Dan. Do you more or less agree with Steve that the Freeway League is La Habra's to lose? Yeah,
I was real impressed with La Habra. I saw him play against Los Alamitos. They look tremendous. I look for Eric Berrier to bounce back big time. I was really impressed with their defense. I was actually looking for a defensive player of the week, perhaps out of the Highlanders this week. It didn't happen, but I was real impressed with how they played. Sonora and Cole McDonald, they've been scoring a lot of points. They're a strong team. So what La Habra did was impressive. Buena Park is 1 year away. Next year they have so many outstanding juniors. That could be their year, but I don't know if they have the complete package like Steve said this year against La Habra.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun, though.
Oh, yes.
All 3 of those games. Can I be at all 3, guys? Can someone
some
clone
great
me?
games out there. J. Sarah Margarita, 2 teams that lost in week 1. They're going at each other.
Yeah, Orange Lutheran and Servite.
Yep. This may be the best week of the season here, week 7. And for all your latest updates, scores, stats, stories, photos, and video, check out OCVarsity.com, where we've got you covered.